Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Knowledge Central, where I make usually videos about self-improvement, especially about my life lessons, career, especially internships, jobs, interviews. And recently I've started making a few videos mainly related to summaries of some amazing books which changed my life. At the same time, have a great impact on my personal life. So I thought to just share some actionable insights. And that's the whole idea of my channel as well, to just share knowledge and help people get better day by day. So, yeah, in this video, I think I'll be talking about the core lessons which I learned from the Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Sorry, so not an easy name to pronounce, but uh, especially few lessons where he tells about few things which he actually incorporated in his own life and how it will actually impact everyone's life. And I feel this is something which has to be shared as much as possible. And a really fun fact is this book was not supposed to be published. And a book called Meditation by him, Marcus Aurelius, where he actually wrote a book for himself, like based on the lessons he learned as an emperor, as the ruler of people. And imagine the kind of person you have to be to actually have power to do whatever you want, but in order to have really have self-control, not to do just whatever comes to my mind or whatever comes to his mind, and then try to just tune your brain, mind, and body in such a way that you have a very peaceful life, because at his times there were a lot of things happening, and he does a lot of things to himself, and he actually wrote it down, where it was self lessons where he kind of preaches as well, and he's an amazing philosopher. And I just read just few of his quotes, and then it literally transformed the way I see things and the way I see people and the way I see everything which happens in my life. And before also I move forward, also the concept of stoicism, where he's a stoic emperor, which basically means that the philosophy of maximizing your uh, positive energy and positive emotions, and the idea is to also at the same time reduce the negative emotions and help people uh, use the best versions, right? The best character they have, and how to tap into this amazing self, where just treat life as an amazing gift, and you know master yourself. And that's what he talks about the whole book. And in this video I'll probably go through some of his quotes, some of the valuable lessons, and it's definitely going to be an impactful video. So let's dive into it. First one is, I've spoken a lot of videos and a lot of books. It's about our mind, right? Anything, good, bad, positive, negative, just starts from your thoughts. And able to control your own mind and thoughts is everything. It literally changes the perspective. So it's really important to focus on our mind and not about the external events, and especially things which we can't control. And then immediately question comes, what do you mean by focus on your mind? What do you mean by focus on our thoughts? That comes to few straightforward things, like really simple things like meditation. But it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a very simple thing to do, right? There's a difference between easy and simple. So it's simple, but it's really challenging to do it again consistently every day. And that's one of the way, I think. And there are millions of ways to focus your mind, work out, play a sport, or say, for example, chant some mantras. I don't know. There are a lot of ways, whichever works for you. Again, it's a little bit subjective, but of how to train your mind. But training your mind and having this control over your thoughts, I feel, is the key for everything which happens. So that's one of the first important lessons which I learned from the Stoic emperor. Following that, he also talks a little more about the quality of thought and the quality of mind, right? And this is exact quote from his book, where the things you think about determine the quality of your mind, right? Because what do you think? Just what's going to transfer to an emotion, right? And your soul takes the color of your thoughts. And this is really deep because that's the only thing which you have full control over it, but it might not be really easy to control that particular thought of mine. Because for a very quick example, if I'm thinking of color red, I can literally stop thinking of color red and literally think about some other color, like color green, right? So this is how easy to switch and have control over your thoughts. But what happens when you're emotionally attached to something, or when something anxious comes into your life, an anxious news, or some happy news comes in? Now, how you deal with this happiness, or how you deal with this anxiety and stress? So everything starts with a thought. And literally, again, there are a lot of studies, as I already mentioned in the previous videos, the stress literally downregulate our hormones and create diseases, makes us sick. So when that's true, and stress again comes from this negative thoughts and anxious thoughts. So if that's true, positive thoughts and positive emotions and being grateful literally makes us healthier and makes us happy. And a lot of research again have been done on this. And being optimistic is such a practice skill which comes along the way. And being grateful, there's a couple of things which literally makes your mind much more stable and being happy with what you have. But again, focus on controlling your mind, focus on controlling your quality thoughts. It's really important, which literally takes the color on you and the actions you do and everything which goes beyond. So it's really important to focus on mind and the quality of thoughts. Next is being intentional. And being intentional, I mean making sure you deliberately take positive actions to improve your own life and others' life, right? And this is again a direct quote from the book. True good fortune is what you make for yourself, right? Good character, good intentions, good actions, right? I know we will be tempted to take a shortcut. We will be tempted to, if you see some $100 or €100 on the floor, you'd be tempted to take it as human. And there are all this nuances where we'll be tempted to deviate from the path, deviate from doing it. But that's when we actually need to be our best versions, right? And that's not going to be easy. And especially think about a guy who literally, when he gets angry, can chop 1,000 people's head. I'm talking about the Greek emperor philosopher Marcus Aurelius. But he literally comes back home, and he also told this one thing from his book, where I literally got goosebumps when I read it, where he tells things like, sometimes people might not be fair. Sometimes people might be a little selfish. Sometimes people might also do some things which is not moral, which is not rational. But Marcus, listen, we need to make sure that to teach others the moral values, the moral principle, what's right. And that's your responsibility to actually share this positive thought. And if you're not able to, do some good, share your moral values and be rational, at least try to put up with them, right? And this is literally the sentence from his book, and he tells that to himself. Imagine the kind of self-control and, the discipline he has to have this control. Like, if somebody, he's not happy with someone, he has the power to literally execute them, like, kill thousands of people with a single stroke or single, order. But the way he controlled his emotions and mind and thoughts, and slowly changing the stoic behavior of this emperor, of trying to preach good intention, good character, and try to educate people and try to make sure that everybody can become better, is something which is marvelous from that Greek emperor philosopher. And again, much more focus on the mind. It's literally going to rule your soul. So it should remain unstirred by agitations, and especially not pointing that's a good thought, bad thought. It's just a thought. The idea is to be aware, and be aware of how it makes you feel and what could be done, what's in our control. And that's what should be thought about. And it's not about judging a thought, or it's not about judging a person. It's about being aware and how to process them. And that's what all matters. So don't label them, or don't categorize them. But the idea is to be aware and make sure to be the best version, make sure you're much more intentional and carry out things with high moral standards and high values with purpose. And that's what everything lies. And finally, I think I want to wrap up the video with this one, where again, it's a line from this book where he tells he never ceases to, maybe all love ourselves, right? Sometimes, but the fun part is we care much more about other people's opinion, right? What he might think, what she might think, or what the company colleagues might think, or what the world might think. It's not about that. It's first what you think, right? How do you feel when you going to act in a certain way? Do you think it's moral? Do you think it's rational, right? When you raise your voice, when your temper goes high, immediately try to understand and be aware, okay, that's not, something which you used to do. So take a deep breath and think how to handle the situation in a better way, right? And just keep in mind that we have no idea what other people are going through, right? You might know what actions they do, but their day, their night, their relationship, we have no idea. And this is also one of the reasons I usually tend to be nice to anybody, even when I see them do something which is something totally irrational, sorry, which is totally out of the line, but I still try to put it in a really best way as possible and communicate that. So it's really important to not care too much about what others would think, what others would comment, or how would it makes others feel. It's about first, coming from within, right? How does it make you feel, and is it right or not? Be much more objective, be much more intentional, and when you slowly start doing the small things, and with your close friends and with your immediate colleagues, and then it slowly creates a better practice, a better person yourself, and making sure you rationally think each and everything you do with purpose and intention. And as I already told people, as humans, it's super normal to make mistakes. It's super normal to sometimes go a little bit out of boundary, and it's our responsibility, at least to ourselves, first of all, to be much more rational, to be a better human every day, and also try to preach that if possible. And especially if you really care about someone, you also make sure that they also become a better person along with you. So I think, yeah, it's an amazing read, and especially a few quotes are brilliant. And as I say, it's really important to focus on our each and every actions, and we become what we repeatedly do. So make sure you try to get better, do better things, and get better day by day. So with that, I think I close this video, and I hope it was informative and would probably make a little impact in someone's life. And that's the whole intention of this video. So thanks a lot for watching. And of course, if you want me to keep making these videos, it'd be really nice and motivational if you just give a thumbs up and subscribe to listen to similar content. And I've tried to diversify as much as possible. The idea is we all can get better than who we are right now. So have an amazing day, and definitely see you guys soon in another video. Take care and good luck.